Ken, you're in a dominant position at half-time. What did you make of the performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought the first half was really, really strong, and I was really pleased with the way we performed because Hawthorn had a lot going on this week. We all understand that, and we acknowledge, and I should acknowledge that right from the start, that Sean's magnificent achievement at 400 games. And, you know, I've all been around football a long time. They're games that are really dangerous and they're really hard to sometimes play, and I was really proud of the way our first half went. Clearly, our second half, we expected Hawthorn to give a bit more, and, you know, that's what they came out and do. We probably made some mistakes that were a little bit off target that we should have been better at.
Are you surprised with your ability to dominate centre clearances, Ken, during that first half?
No, surprised. We're capable of doing that, but you've always got to turn up and do it. And that's, again, the boys were really good inside and got the ball in our half. We were able to play a game that we like to play and, you know, and usually get a pretty good result out of. So that was really important for us.
How have you seen the clearance game from Port Adelaide this year, Ken? I know it's very dominant that first half, then Hawthorn kind of fought their way back a little bit in the third quarter.
I'm not quite sure. I think we've had a pretty solid season in lots of our game. Obviously, with the ladder position that we've got, the amount of wins that we've got, we haven't, like any team in the comp, we haven't had it perfect all the way through. We've had moments where we've been really good. We've had moments where we've been a bit off. I think the pleasing part is that we've been pretty consistent throughout the season in most facets of the game, and that's allowed us to get to a position we are now in 11-4.
Obviously, with the percentage, you get into the top four. How important is that for going forward for the aspirations you have this year?
Yeah, it's not that important currently, as I've said all along. It's at the end of the 22 home and away games. It's clearly going to be important, and each moment and each opportunity you can gain a little bit of something, whether that be win, and as you said, percentage. They're all going to add up at the end, but right now it's just too far away to narrow our view on what that looks like. Our focus needs to be from week to week, as it is always.
How's Kane Farrell? Or what's the diagnosis with Kane Farrell, Ken?
Yeah, look, unfortunately, it looks like Kane's done some serious knee damage. We won't know exactly, but we suspect that it will be an ACL. It's a real tragedy because he's really made some great strides this year as a young player. He's one of them young players that I really enjoy in our team, and he's built his game around, he's got a great leg, but he's also got a good contest, and that's where he got hurt tonight, unfortunately, the contest. We'll support him really strongly, and, what I do know about Kane, he'll use the opportunity to develop himself and better himself, and we'll be around him to support him all the way through.
Frederick came on and gave you a little bit of zip and kicked a goal pretty quickly as well. What have you made of his development this season?
Yeah, he's a good acknowledgement of the program. I think, we've been able to bring players in like that this year and play 4 debutants, and I think Frederick, Bergman, they're the type of players that we've been able to see. And Farrell, we just talked about him. We've seen the development of a number of players in the team. But Marty was, again, he's done a really good job. I mean, he's come from such a long way away at the end of last season to be in the position he is now and played, maybe 6-7 games of AFL footballs. What a great story for our footy club.
Ken, has Connor Rosie been doing anything different recently? I guess what's been behind his upturn in form, or at least from scoreboard influence?
That's Marty you asked about?
Nah, Connor, sorry.
Oh, Connor. The difference? I didn't quite get the question, sorry.
Yeah. Just I guess the difference between his last couple of 3-4 weeks have been really good. The way he's been able to hit the scoreboard. I mean, what's he done? Has he done anything different that's kind of resulted in this?
No, not so much. He's continued to work hard and develop his game, but it's just like a footy season. Sometimes it rolls you away a little bit, and other times it's a bit harder for you. And Connor's had to work really hard to gather some momentum, and he's certainly got that going now, as you said. And he's a really very talented young player, but he's still got a lot of growth in him. So sometimes, as good as he's been, the expectation probably gets ahead of what it should be, and we just need to manage that he keeps working at his game. And he'll get the rewards eventually because he's a high-quality worker on his game.
You mentioned at the start, obviously, everyone respects Sean Burgoyne and Hawthorn coming into such a big occasion. What did you make of it before the game with your players? Does it just kind of put focus, like you actually focus on the game more intensely, knowing what they're going to bring?
Yeah, no, not so much. I mean, we were very, very respectful about the occasion and what the opportunity was and what Sean had achieved in his career, because he'd been a great part of our football club as well, 150 odd games and a premiership player for us. We wanted to be very respectful of Sean, but we didn't want that to cause us any pain as far as the season goes. And we talked about the time for us to be respectful was at the end of the game, and the time for us to be brutal and after the opposition like we are in any game was right from the start. And to the boys' credit, I thought they were able to take some of the emotion out of the game, which I'm really pleased we did, because we've seen what happened when Hawthorn got a little bit of a sniff.
And just in terms of your week, it's been a tough build-up, or how tough has it been, given you had to relocate earlier in the week and sort of get ready for such a game?
No, look, for us, it's not that challenging for us. We understand we'd all and everyone in the competition would love to still be in their homes and with their family. But the reality is we know we have to be able to react quickly. We're well organised and we're well run from the top down at our footy club. And our boys, led by Tom, are ready for any of those challenges. And they're not perfect by no means, but gee, we don't shy away from having to take them on.
What do the next few days hold before that Melbourne game on the Thursday night?
A lot of recovery.
In terms of your movements and
but
in terms of your movements and protocols.
We'll go home tomorrow morning. We'll recover really strongly. We won't do much training clearly in a 5-day break. Melbourne will be the same that we both played today. It'll be a tough contest, a good contest, and lots at stake again for everyone.
How have you seen the development of the forward line of Charlie, Todd, and Mitch so far? It looked like they were they got to look at some rewards tonight. Yeah, they've been working really hard for a good period of time, and I've said this for a number of weeks too, that that they'll get better every week they play together. They'll get better by the end of the year. They'll get better again next year and the year after, because two of those pieces are incredibly young and inexperienced key forwards, and it's probably nearly the toughest spot to learn as a craft and to get to a level that's successful. I think you got to keep at it and you've got to play together for a good period of time. It must be pleasing to see Charlie get some, reward on the scoreboard. We know he's been playing really well recently, but to get the 4 goals, get the reward for effort. Yeah, he deserves everything he gets, because he has to, he's got to turn up at each of those contests and keep working really hard. And he's a big person who creates a fair bit of attention, but. I thought he was playing okay in the start of the season as well as he has been in the last 6 or 7 weeks. Unfortunately, we recognised goals scored, and Charlie's been able to hit the scoreboard a little bit more frequently in the last 4 or 5 weeks, but we recognise his work rate and his ability to be there.
How long do you think, Ken, before Zach Butters might be able to get back into the AFL team?
Zach will push for next Thursday. He got through the game well today. He, I'm not being in any way disrespectful to the competition, but Zach Butters is an AFL player every day of the week, and he just needed to get a game under his belt to give him some confidence that he can play. He won't be perfect if he comes in next week or the week after, but he'll be there making us better for every week that he's in the team. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, and Xavier Dersmer, is he still a week away, or?
Yeah, he'll play next week in the SANFL, all things being equal. And we'll be really pleased to have him back as well. I mean, we had Tom Cleary, Jackson Mead, playing the SANFL today. We had Zach playing the SANFL today. So, we're starting to get some of them pieces back. Unfortunately, we lose Kane tonight for a long term, but the challenges of this year, I think we might have had something like 9 or 10 surgeries as a football club this year already, which is quite remarkable. You normally have, a couple, but not so many as in big collision injuries like we've had. On Zach, I mean, how important is he to the team in the way you play? What have you missed with him being out for such a long time? Oh no, he's lots of things to us. He's a pressure player. He's a scoring threat. He's a creator for us. He's just a hard worker. He's an important part of the team, along with Robbie, along with Orazio, and I've had pieces out of the front half that have been missing for a good period of time. Look, he's a part of our team. I don't hide from the fact he's a pretty important part. But, we can't expect too much from him, in the first few weeks back at AFL level either.